do a good little. I do throw on some lotion, and everybody, this is a miracle, baby. It is a true blue, surefire miracle that we are here with you tonight at 10 o'clock, right on the dot, just in the nick of time because we got a full show. We have a full show full of information and hot topics that we've got to talk about. Kenny and Tiffany, you both, we just had a little pre-conversation where we said it's been a day.
Yes. Higher say that.
Tell you, if you think you having a motherfucking day, baby, you ain't seen, you can't imagine a day that black folks are having in DC as their communities are being overrun by the military with even more presence of the National Guard coming in tomorrow. That is starting us off, all being done in avoidance of releasing Epstein files. People, what do you say?
Well, this is just a retaliation on DC and pretty much all black-led cities across the nation because we refused to vote for the felon in chief, which is Donald Trump. But also, it just goes into the mere fact that this man is lying when it comes to, violent crime that's happening in DC. We're at an all-time low, especially the last 30 years. We've been seeing a decline when it comes to violent crime here in DC. This other thing is me and a few other content creators, we decided to go downtown because I don't know if you know this, but there's this big fuck you Donald Trump tent downtown, and these people have been camped out every day outside of Union Station, pretty much calling out the Trump administration, staging protests, organizing people, giving people pamphlets and information about their rights and stuff like that. And what they decided to do is when the announcement came, is a lot of them were handing out whistles to the homeless to let them know, like, hey, if somebody tries to, detain you, or if you see, often our authorized personnel try to take you or this, that, and the other, blow the whistle so we can come. So we were just showing self-awareness. But for the first day, nothing really happened. Everybody was kind of pretty much walking around, people getting coffee, this, that, and the other. I think it's mainly because a lot of like content creators and stuff like that, we were out there just trying to make sure that nobody was really fucking with the homeless and trying to round these people up. Okay. We didn't want this to be another, Nazi Germany where they're just snatching folks. But for the most part, nothing was going on. I don't necessarily know about the last 2 days because I've been working, but I'm not sure what Trump's agenda is and what he thinks he's gonna do, but it's not happening in DC.
Tiffany, what do you think is the agenda? Like, you are in the DMV. What do you think is the agenda? Kenny was there on the ground. I saw the video, saw him and Elizabeth, walking around. Kenny made a funny video about a bag getting snatched, and the bag was snatched with a poor white person running in the background. But what do you think is the point? Because I mean, I think a lot of people are kind of speculating. What do you think?
Well, I think there's multiple points. So one is obviously to distract from the Epstein files, but this has always been part of Trump's agenda, right? He has his whole thing is revenge and vengeance, white supremacy. I mean, let's be real. And he wants to militarize this country. This is what he wants to do. This is not a secret. And so what we're seeing is as Mayor Brandon Scott, who obviously is the mayor of Baltimore. I live closer to Baltimore than I do to DC, work in Baltimore, is he's specifically targeting cities with black or brown mayors. This is what he's doing. And the ultimate goal may be that he wants to incite riots, which would then allow him to declare martial law.
Kill
And
us.
he's
To
even
kill us in the
talked
streets.
yeah, and he's even talked about today, which the Washington Post had an article that he wants to create some sort of, task, like not a task, like a force of like 600 um, National Guard. They could be ready at any time, and it would even cross state lines. So he's trying to make like a new kind of National Guard, which would then be kind of like a guard to deal with people who are supposedly starting violence or inciting violence and this type of stuff. So yeah, my post the other day was yeah, he wants to have a civil he wants a civil war. He wants there to be one so he can get what he wants out of this, which would be to say, look at the blacks, look at the blacks that are out there and they're rioting. It's kind of like the same thing that they did in Los Angeles, right? Where he saw that people were getting up in arms about the whole ICE thing. He got what he wanted, a show, with people burning cars, and he could use that to his advantage. So the what Trump would love is to see, a whole bunch of black people out there in the streets and pissed off and burning shit like what happened in Baltimore with Freddie Gray. And so but I think people are
We try to
smarter.
create this environment that happens by
Exactly.
trying
And
to
I
take
think
over.
people,
Any black city will do. Any black
yeah,
city
any black
that
city
will
will
give
do
him
it.
that.
Yeah, and
We will.
I think that people are now hip to the game, right? They're hip to the game to know that this is what he's trying to do. So as you can see, there are people out there, like Penny said, there are people out there protesting. They are going to do it, but they're smart about it. But what shocked made me laugh, I don't know if you saw the video of Subway Guy. Do
Mm.
you know who Subway Guy is?
No, I
Okay, so
haven't.
Okay, so Subway Guy is a white man. His name is Sean Dunn. He was out on the street on Sunday. I think it was Sunday or Monday, one of those nights. He is a Caucasian man, white as can be, and he's out there with his chinos and his pink shirt, and he sees the police out there, all these military folks. So Sean is, mind you, there's some black folks that are recording this. So he's talking to the black folks. He's like, where do these people come from? Sean, they say, oh, they just rolled up in these white SUVs. So he's out there screaming, fuck you, fascists, da 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 da. He's going crazy, right? So then he walks across the street to where the police are. He gets in the cop's face and and he's like, fuck you. And Sean decides that he's gonna go in one of the officers' face, and he has a Subway sandwich in his hand, and he clocks the goddamn officer with the Subway sandwich.
Oh
Okay,
no, that's
I
dangerous.
did
Don't do that.
see. I did see memes about it, but I haven't. So I'm gonna go
Yes.
back to watch
This
that.
video is it's not funny, but it's like hilarious because the black folks are on the other side of the street, and they're like, "Should we go get him? Like, we don't want him to get." The other dude is like, "Nah, let him be. He's about that life. Let him just do him." And the cops literally he hit the cops, and they had to book to run after him. And they finally, so now, of course, because this was recorded, Judge Janine Pirro, well, not even this year judge anymore, I don't even know, Janine Pirro, that wine drinking crazy heifer, she's
Mm-hmm.
like, we're charging him with a felony. And Sean is like, they asked Sean, and I guess they were asking in his like proceedings or whatever, did you do this? And he said, yep, I hit him with my Subway sandwich. Like, he don't have no shame. I'm like, so I say he used his privilege to fight against fascism. This is not a scene that Donald Trump wants to see with a white person fighting fascism. That's not what Donald Trump wants to see. He wants to see people that look like us out there fighting. That defies his narrative. So they're going to use Sean. So Sean probably got a bunch of rich family, rich parents who are going to get him out of jail, and he used
Yep.
his privilege. And what are you going to say? How do you go to the judge and be like, yeah, this is the dude, this guy, we're charging him with a felony because he hit me with a Subway sandwich that didn't do anything. It literally stayed in the package. It's hilarious. Like, but this is kind of where we are, and we're gonna see more white people probably stand up and do similar things, and they're not gonna like that.
We
I
hope
mean,
because
We hope, yes.
to the Fox News viewer, okay, y'all, to the Fox News viewer, and to MAGA, every black and brown person in this country that they don't know is a criminal. Every black and brown person they don't know is a criminal. And the ones they know, well, those are the good blacks. Those are the good browns because they know them. Well, I know. I mean, if I don't know you, black, you are not a good guy. You're not. You're a potential robber, killer, rapist, murderer. Never mind the people I know in my family who are pedophiles like Donald Trump.
mm,
So that is their mentality. So when they, again, like you said, Tiffany, when they see a white person standing up against fascism, it does cause cognitive dissonance and could possibly result in a much needed paradigm shift. That's the only hope we have of breaking through to those people. Donald Trump employing and creating this militarized police system is an essential component of authoritarian rule, fascism, and causing democracy to fail because he cannot use legally the military to do his bidding and his dirty work. So he has to create another state sanctioned organization to do it. We saw the exact same thing in Weimar Germany under Hitler, the exact same thing. And so he had and we see so many elements of that. From the moment that Trump won re-election, I've been working or wanting to create a video that connects the parallels, because as somebody who reads a lot, knows a lot of history, I know the parallels, I see the parallels, but it's too sad, it's too heartbreaking, it's too difficult to do. But I am finally at the place where I was able to script out the video, and it's done, and I just have to record it and put it together, because everything that is happening now has already happened. And it's crazy, the time frame. 1930s Germany, 2025 America, 100 years apart, and history is repeating itself full stop. And people are, doing exactly what they did in Germany, ignoring it, not taking action, letting it happen, and telling themselves all these stories so they can wake up the next morning and feel like a good human being. They, and it's heartbreaking. I think Kenny talked about, or one of you mentioned the lies. Kenny, I think that was in your intro, the lies. Oh yeah, advocacy. You're right. Most people have mentioned Viktor Orban and what's happening what happened in Hungary, and all these dictators are this man's role models. All of these dictators give this man a roadmap of how to destroy a democracy. And not only do we see what happened in Hungary, but he's looking to Poland and what happened in Poland for a period of time, and they still have a stronghold of authoritarianism in Poland. So that also is an example that this man is using.
And let's not forget to never forgive the corporate media for criticizing President Biden and Kamala Harris for comparing him to Hitler.
That's right. They never stopped.
They never stopped. And I'm glad that Jasmine Crockett called him Timo Hitler, because that's literally what he is.
Timo Hitler taco tits. Timo Hitler with the taco tits needs to never end and be the ongoing name. And thank you, TPMD, for the super sticker. If you guys are watching on Kenny's channel, buy, and pay those super stickers. If you're watching on my channel, Tiffany's channel, please subscribe and to our Substack. We need paid subscribers. It's $8 a month. $80, I think, Tiffany, for the year, right? That's it. $80 a year will fund the work that we are doing in this world. Tiffany has a brand new show on the Substack, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to get to that. I want to show this clip of that was on MSNBC. I didn't watch it in live, but I saw it on Twitter, and it really is it's a police officer who gives some really good commentary and a really good breakdown. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I think it's definitely worth a watch. Let me pull this up. Please play right.
Hodges, who was on duty during the January 6th assault on the Capitol when he was violently beaten by the mob.
Did y'all see this?
I want to thank you for being on the program.
Oh, you saw it?
Officer Hodges, do you know who's in charge of law enforcement in the nation's capital right now? How do things feel out there?
Thanks for having me, Chris. Speaking on my own behalf and not on behalf of my employer, as far as I know, the chain of command has not changed, at least for the day-to-day police officers in D.C. The emergency federalization doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because deploying these National Guard troops to D.C., I served as a Virginia National Guard member for 6 years, and I can tell you that this is not what they're trained to do. Soldiers are trained to fight and win wars. We're not in a war out here in D.C. It's there's crime out here, but it's not a war-torn hellscape like Trump has said. It's the troops are not trained to do law enforcement. This is not their lane. This is not what they're supposed to be doing.
So what could be realistically expected of them? Because as I said, the White House put out this statement and they said multi-agency teams. I think, for example, if you want to talk about managing crowds, yes, certainly for big events, there are crowds in Washington, D.C. I don't know, having lived there for 3 years on a day-to-day basis, that we see huge crowds of people necessarily around Washington. What do you make of a kind of partnership? Can it be useful?
Yeah, I'm not aware of any enormous events that warrant the deployment of hundreds of National Guard units for crowd control. With regards to federal partners, we could always use more hands, but I don't think this is really their specialization either. So many of these federal officers are investigators. They're supposed to be behind a desk, working that way, but they're not. You're going to see them standing around in Chinatown or on the mall or walking around Georgetown. They're not going east of the river. They're not doing what really needs to be done around here for help. So it could be helpful, but I don't think it's going to be.
I wonder what you, and maybe you've had these conversations with your fellow officers, your partner. What did you think when you heard the president? He suggested this before when he describes DC as being crime-ridden, a hellscape. Do you feel it's a personal attack on you and your fellow officers?
No, I don't think it's a personal attack on the police when he says that. Like, there is crime in DC. I'm not going to pretend there isn't, but it's not exactly Mogadishu out here. It's very. There are things that the federal government can do to help. First of all, is actually allow DC to spend its own money. Right now, we're $1 billion in the hole, and the
Straight
government can't
facts.
approve the raise that's already been signed for DC police. So there's one thing. FEMA also slashed its assistance to DC police by, I think, 44%, just for whatever reason that they want to cut government spending for. So there are things that they can do to help us out that they're not doing, and I would love to know why.
Good question. Yeah, I mean, he's right. They did cut the budget for DC. Remember, the Congress did this. They cut it out, that bill, the funding for the government, and they never voted to add it back. So DC is running a deficit at this point.
Hodges.
And what are the thing is, Donald Trump doesn't care. This is about presentation. This is about performative stuff where he
Political
can say,
theater to take our eyes
Exactly.
and minds off of Epstein and his criminal wrongdoing.
right. And the thing is that I don't know if you saw this video, but there was a video of a bunch of guys. They're sitting on their stoop in DC, and the cops roll up, and they're like, "Oh, like these are federal officers." There's like a bunch of them, and they're like, "Oh, let me see your ID." And the dude is like, "Why do you want to see my ID?" And he's like, "Oh, I smelled weed. You can't be out here." The officer was actually like, after that, the officer was actually like kind of giving them some information and asking them about, telling them kind of what's going on. But the fact that we are at this point where people are being asked for their ID on their stoop is a problem. And we are at a point where we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, because we have seen the National Guard be deployed in situations like in Milwaukee when it was Minneapolis during George Floyd, during that time period. And we actually saw like people, the National Guard walking through the streets. But we have never seen the National Guard act like they are the police, because that's not their job. And Westmore was my governor, Westmore, was very explicit about this morning. I was proud of him because he went on Fox and Friends, and he told them this is not, he was in the military. He knows what the National Guard does. He is the commander in chief of the National Guard in Maryland. He knows exactly. The thing is that the National Guard is under the control of Donald Trump in DC, because DC is not a state.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a state. So Donald Trump technically has jurisdiction over DC. This is what separates Maryland, Virginia, and DC. It is not the same. And this is part of the problem. And DC and the whole DC becoming a state thing is a whole different thing. We're not going to get there anytime soon. So Donald Trump is going to exploit this for what it is.
Here's a question. But smoking marijuana is legal in DC, right?
Yes, but you cannot do it in public.
Okay. Oh, okay. I mean, I don't smoke marijuana, but I have been with people in DC who were smoking in public. Them motherfuckers are breaking the law. I didn't even damn know. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know.
Yes,
You're
not supposed to do it you can't do it in public. So if you're out in the street and you're smoking, they can arrest you. They don't normally, because guess what? That's a waste of police resources to arrest people for smoking.
I didn't know.
I mean, if he really wanted, them to really focus on the crime that's happening in DC, he would actually send them to try to go ahead and get those Epstein files sent, or just send them right to the White House, because that's where all the crime is being committed. Literally, all the crime is being happening right now at the White House. He's literally going against our civil rights and civil liberties, stripping
He's
things
giving away Alaska. He's giving away Alaska. We're sitting here begging, trying to take over Greenland and turn it to red, white, and blue land because of rare earths minerals. And we're giving away our own rare earth minerals in Alaska to damn Russia.
I mean, he's already stole our money. He's taking away our Medicaid, our SNAP benefits. He's a thief.
He's a thief. So today I saw this and I wanted to just briefly bring it up. This is from our friend Troubleman90 on Twitter. And he said the black academics who had so much smoke for Kamala are really quiet as Trump hints at occupying a majority black city indefinitely. While National Guard troops are currently patrolling the streets of D.C., they won't be able to ignore the situation much longer. You know, I wanted to take a brief moment to share with all of everyone out there because many of us are. So we have, as of right now, we have 84 people watching on Twitter, and we have a number of you who know about us and who follow us on that platform. People, most of the motherfuckers is fake. Okay, they're fucking bots. They're in Russia. They are Russian. They are fucking Russians. Okay, who are sitting on their fat asses at home in their houses, getting paid rubles and shit to sit down and type this shit to inflame us. They know what our trigger points are from the Cambridge Analytica scandal. And they know how to enrage black people. So they sit on their asses and they get paid to do that all day and they enjoy it. And then they go out and they dance and they drink vodka and do whatever the fuck people in Russia do down in Leningrad, which Donald Trump brought back into existence today. So they're not there. And so what they do is they then promote and get the real black academics up in arms to spend all damn day all over Twitter. These people aren't saying anything because they are not real. They were not real when Kamala was running, and they are not real now. They only exist during elections to, she's finna say Jill Stein.
No. You know who is real with these black academics? Nina Turner.
You see her clip?
Who also is real? Amanda Seals.
Who else? Who else, Kenny?
Voice Watkins.
Dr. Umar. Charlemagne the God. All these other people who literally tried to tell us that
but
they were nothing for black men, had nothing for the black community, and that Donald Trump and Kamala Harris were one and the same. These people
I
told
dare
black people
say, Kenny, they're also being paid. I believe firmly that CTG and I believe that there's lots of money out there that is coming in to influence American elections from Russian oligarchs. And they are paying people to do their bidding, even in roundabout ways. I know that there's money being funneled into iHeartMedia. These people have money everywhere, and they know that money is a driving force in America's democracy. And they use it to benefit their goals. While Democrats scramble and don't, where our funders are sitting here to try to do things ethically or trying to say what should be funded and pumping money into these fucking white consultants from the Obama era and the pod save shit bros, and then doing nothing of a fucking worth about it or that makes a difference. I do believe they're getting paid. You know who's not getting paid? Is Representative Jolanda Jones and the Texas Democrats, who are losing massive amounts of everything to do what they're doing. There was a rumor yesterday that it was falsely reported by Kenny's friend, Kevin Ortegas. Kenny's friend, Kevin Ortegas, had made a post about Texas Democrats going home. Did you see the post, Kenny? I'm not looking at your face on this because I'm looking at the camera, but now I'm going to look at your face. Did you see the post where he was saying they've gone home or they're going home? Multiple people reported
that they were going home.
Multiple people. It's not true. We found out today that it wasn't true. It was fake, false news. They're not giving up. They're not going home yet. But let me tell you something. Let me make myself big, put my big ass head up here for a minute. Hold on. Let me say this. I want to say if they do go home, fuck, I understand why the hell they would.
Exactly.
And I had the chance to interview Representative Jolanda Jones. You didn't see the damn interview if you don't follow my YouTube. So follow the fucking YouTube. Follow the Zactivist on YouTube. It's the least you can do. Shit. And you can then see the full interview. Let me show you this one little clip from Representative Jones. All the other clips are on Twitter. But the whole interview is on the YouTube. Because we're finding a way to win because of the solidarity of the people in this country who are beholden to what's right.
And I told her to take her ass home.
Democracy.
I want to tell y'all that too.
Beholden to the ideas of America being a better nation. Those people come together. Those black, brown voices, those allies. We join continuously together in the fight, and we continuously vote our principles and our hearts for the betterment of our country, not for the betterment of ourselves. Because oftentimes we have been disadvantaged in the votes that we've had to cast. Oftentimes we've been having to vote for the lesser of two evils, but we do it because it is what is right for our country. That is why we continuously find a way to overcome their privileges and the advantages they set up for themselves. You have hit on some amazing points, and I really hope this is not just a Texas issue. This is a national issue. Texas is the lab. Texas is the conservative playground for authoritarianism in this country, because they have a willing participant in Governor Greg Abbott and Ken Paxton, who are willing to sacrifice their constituents and the demands of because I was very fortunate enough to be able to go to Austin, talk to people in Texas. They don't want this.
No, but let me say this. I was on the redistricting committee, right? And overwhelmingly, people came to testify and say, we don't want no redistricting. We just had a flood that killed over 130 people, and close to 40 of them were like little girls. Like, we want flood relief. And the truth is, the governor could literally give them money right now. He could do an executive action. He doesn't need us, but he's politicizing this. But let me be clear. Let me tell you why some black person in Iowa, or some black person in Hawaii, or some black person, I don't know, in Washington State needs to care about what's going on in Texas. Here's what's going on. Last year in North Carolina, the Republicans, who were sneaky under cover of darkness and the country not paying attention, literally stole 3 seats in North Carolina. There were 7 Democrats and 7 Republicans in Congress, and they racially, illegally, unconstitutionally gerrymandered, and they cracked the black community, and that's what they did, and they stole them. It is not a coincidence, in my respectful opinion, that President Trump right now has a 3-person majority in Congress. That's them 3 seats they stole in North Carolina. Ain't nobody say nothing about what happened in North Carolina except the North Carolinians, except for we get screwed right now with higher gas prices, people being kicked off of their health insurance, people having to pay more for everything because of these high tariffs, because of that election in North Carolina that nobody paid attention to, which is why we have to let you know this stuff is interconnected. It is interconnected. If Trump gets 5 more votes, that bad bill that just passed whenever it was.
Yeah, the big, beautiful bullshit bill.
Yeah, that bill right there, that part. Let me be clear. That bill never would have passed had we had a congressperson in CD18, because had I been there, I'd have voted against it. I'd have spoken against it. I'd have tried to, talk to Republicans on the other side and make them see why this was not good for their constituents.
And again, I said, baby, go home. I said, go home. This is a sister. This woman, listen, she began the interview where I want everyone to know, when people are saying, you better not go home, you better not give up, why in the fuck would they not? Listen to me, people. I know if some shit's gonna make you mad, but I'm about to make 28 videos about this same topic. I'm gonna say it over and over, and I don't give a damn if I lose every follower, because this is the absolute truth. Why in the hell would these Democrats in Texas, who are already under scrutiny, who are already putting their necks on the lines, why should they go another day without their family? Why should they go another day without seeing their children, seeing their spouses, losing income, losing income while spending money to stay and survive in another place? On behalf of saving democracy, when the whole fucking country as a whole didn't do what they should have done. When 90 million Americans sat on their asses and didn't give a fuck to vote. There is nothing that we are seeing and living through right now that was not in Project 2025. I made a fucking video about this shit before Taraji got there and told y'all to research it. That hit 4.1 million views on TikTok. People fucking told us this was going to happen, and we knew it was, and they're just going through the playbook. They're not giving us anything new. And so now I'm seeing people on social media after Kevin Ortegas, Kenny's friend, Kevin Ortegas, sat his ass up here and said
that they were going back, and people were enraged. People were enraged that they're gonna give up and go back. You're gonna give up. You're gonna go back. This woman started off talking about she makes $600 a month to do this work, $7,200 a year.
Mhm.
Serve in the Texas House of Representatives. That's it. She has a full-time job as an attorney. She is an accomplished woman. She's an attorney. She's an AKA who is taking care of her elderly mother with significant health needs. So with her having to run away from her state for you and me, her mother is left at home and she's having to pay for additional support and for extra care. She has a docket of clients that she's supporting who are that are paying her bills as she does her job as an attorney. Her son is having to take over her. He's also an attorney. Her son is taking over her caseload while managing his caseload while she is on this extended leave. There are parents who are missing their children's very first day of school. There are mothers who are nursing children who are there on the run with those children. And when you think about who's paying for it, Governor J.B. Pritzker is a billionaire or a millionaire, whatever the hell he is. But guess what? He's not allowed to pay shit. They're not living in nice, cushy hotels for free. They're not getting free meals. These people are living in Representative Jolanda Jones said,
I heard the conditions are
that
terrible.
her room was smaller than a dorm room and she's sharing it with somebody else that's sleeping on fucking cots.
Yikes.
And you want to say they sit this out until when? It's until when? We are ridiculous in placing pressure on Democrats. Place some fucking pressure on Greg Abbott's ass. Place some fucking pressure on Ken Paxton's ass. Place some fucking pressure on Republicans. Get the fuck off the Democrats because they're doing everything they legally can do. And when those people out there who are saying they need to stay the course, how much have you fucking donated? How much have you given for them to stay the course? If you haven't given shit, you shouldn't say shit.
Amen. No, I'm with you.
It's hot in here.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like there's when they said they were going home yesterday, I was like, okay, what do you want me to do? Like why are y'all mad that these people who have families, who have, like you said, they got there's a lot of stuff going on, that we are resting our democracy on these people who are Jasmine Crockett was great. Yesterday she was on MSNBC. I watched in the evening. I usually watch in the evening. And they were asking about like who is part of this. Like, are some people like caving, kind of like she's like, listen, it's a multicultural coalition of people who are out there. They left the state, but at some point they do have to come home. I mean, they just do. So what I am seeing, right? There's two sides of this, right? There is the people who have left Texas, but what are the other states doing? And I was glad. I don't know. I follow Gavin Newsom and his crazy ass social media team who are
I
writing
saw it.
in Trumpian, and they are cracking me the hell up with their posts. And tomorrow he has a press conference and he said we're moving forward. I don't give a shit. The people are going to have to vote on this in California, and they are going to determine if they want to redraw the map. So he is putting this in the right way. He said, I'm going to let the people decide what they want to do.
Yep.
And that's the right way to do it. And and what he's doing is actually, to me, smart. That's smart politics. Put it in the people's lap, put it on the ballot, and let them decide if they want to do this. And guess what? I will see. But that's one way to do this, right? Those people. If California moves forward, you have a kind of a
Domino
fallback,
effect.
and which allows for people to come home. And you know what? It's gonna, whether it passes tomorrow or if it passes a month from now, the shit is still gonna fucking pass. Okay, it is. It is. You ran away. Yeah, it's inevitable. But yes, we can prolong this. We can, do what we got to do. These people are talking about they want to lock up Beto. There's like so much behind it.
But
So
we
I'm
gotta
not.
donate. We gotta donate what we can. We've got to give what we can to help offset the massive sacrifice that these families are having to make because of the roles of service that they're in. And I can't emphasize people $7,200.
$7,200 is trash. That is like one of the lowest. Texas, for as many people as Texas has, that is a terrible salary. People in Maryland that are in the legislature make $54,000 a year. People in New York who are in the legislature make $142,000 a year. These people are getting jerked around making
And it's not a
$7,200 a
part-time
week.
job, you guys.
You still
It's
have to work.
a part-time job. That's right. It's not even and Don has said that the people in Texas, yes, the people in Texas are outraged. I was there in Austin. It was a great experience to be there, to hear the people themselves. Literally went to a town hall in San Marcos, Texas, that involved Representative Castro. And when I tell you, it was predominantly white. It was a predominantly white crowd. There were not many Hispanic Americans who were there, not many Black Americans who were there. There was a predominantly white crowd, older, very concerned voters. I would say most of the crowd was between the ages of 45 and 85, and they were on the microphone expressing their discontent for hours. And the reason why they had the town hall, it was Representative Aaron Zaviner. The reason why they had the town hall was because these people had went to Austin and they wouldn't let them speak. And so she wanted her constituents to have a public forum just to get it off their chest. And it was insane, the anger and the outrage from these people who are in many, and this is, pretty much a 60-40 area. It was amazing to hear, but the people, like you said, Don, they don't give a fuck. Greg Abbott does not care about the people of Texas or his constituents. All he cares about is serving the wheel of MAGA.
Mm.
So
It just
frustrating.
is what it is,
Yeah.
child. This was easily preventable, but hey, some people you got to learn the hard way. What do they
Yeah,
say? A soft eye, a hard head will make an ass soft. That's literally where we're at
yeah,
right now.
but here's the thing. I think Jasmine made a really good point about this because she said the people that they are trying to take out in Texas are black and brown. The way that they're trying to consolidate these seats, right? And so they're even trying to get rid of Jim Clyburn's district. I mean, this is how far they are going with this. And so it is not just a Texas thing. This is a country nationwide thing that everyone should be caring about. But you can't make people care about what they don't care about. And so many people, like you said, just don't give a shit about what is going on in politics. They are checked out. They don't give a shit, or they support this bullshit. And how do you solve for that? There's no way to make people care. It's
But you know
hard.
why they're doing this in Texas, right? Because Texas literally has the largest Black population in the United States. And they're trying to silence
It
the
does. It has.
largest population of Black people, which is consolidated in
Black
Texas.
and brown people. You're right. It is. It is the largest, especially. Yeah, that is true. Not per capita or per population, but total actual numbers. It is. And again, I want to emphasize Representative Crockett and Representative Vesey are two Black representatives, and their districts have been smushed together. One of them will not be back in Congress under this new map. So we're going to lose minority representation in Congress. And if in October, when the Supreme Court rehears the about Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, Civil Rights Act, we're gonna, we very well could lose almost all Black members and brown members of the United States Congress. And I think that's also something that people kind of aren't aware of. Black people have rung the bell about our voting power for a long time. We have begged people in our communities to vote. We have begged and fought against voter apathy. Well, soon you may not have the opportunity. And when people think about is it really a big deal to do away with Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, I want to remind you that Jim Crow was legal by law because of laws passed by Congress. I want to remind you that segregation was legal by law because of laws passed by Congress. I want to remind you that slavery was legal because of laws passed by Congress. And when you sit and think that these things can happen again, you are lying to yourselves. You are being delusional. You're being delusional.
The people who lived through the civil rights movement are still alive to this day. Keep that in perspective. We haven't gone that far. So what we were supposed to do is maintain the rights that was given to us or fought for us by our elders. But unfortunately, we dropped the ball, you guys. And right now, the only thing that we can do is stall. We can try our best to stop the bleeding, but that's what we have to do. We cannot.
We have to
fool
stall in the
ourselves.
next election. We have to
Can't
work
fool
on multiple
ourselves.
fronts.
In the next election, what you're asking for the most progressive policies and these, that, and the other, it's not going to happen. The only thing that we might be able to do is stop the bleeding. And that's literally what we have to do. We have to start playing. We're going to have to backtrack Or
we
play
have to
catch up.
stall
For all
and
the bullshit.
plan for 2026. That's the only hope we have. And I know that they're doing all they can to stop 2026 from happening, but we've got to do that work. And we've got to mobilize allies. And we have to, white people have got to do the right thing. They've
You
got to
trust
care.
them?
We don't have a choice. I mean, there is no other hope. When I was about to say, when Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act is struck down by the Supreme Court, there will be no more leverage and power in among black and brown people in this country regarding voting, because they're going to crack, and they're going to pack the districts in a way that will dilute any voting power that we have, so there is no more political voice representation that we can bring to the table. So we are going to be dependent on these allies to do something right. And I'm not saying they're going to, because there's a whole nother battle up front to convince them not to. And it's just so many battles that we're having. And I'm afraid some people don't even realize it. At the same time that we're talking about this, we're caring about these issues, there's a motherfucking focus on social media about some I was about to use the wrong term, about some damn men in Atlanta wearing fucking skirts. About some straight men in Atlanta wearing skirts. And that's all over
Cheerleaders,
the time.
male cheerleaders. Like, this is the
What's the
shit that
problem?
people focus on.
That's the shit that's distracting people that they're talking about, and they're caring about why they ignore this, which is truly going to uproot their lives.
Oh God, what does that
But
have
I
to
know
do
it's a
with
lot.
anything?
And still, Josh, thank you for the the super chat. We appreciate it. Hopefully, hopefully, Kenny, you're racking up on the super chats. And to support me and Tiffany, please subscribe, pay subscription to our Substack. It's just $8. Give us damn $8. We need them $8. Hell, I'm spending money going to damn Austin, Texas. I went to fucking Chicago. This shit ain't free. It ain't free.
It's the money. Them tickets are. Hey, you got to fly in the sky, child. Do what you got to do. Go from pillar to post to let the people know what's going
It
on.
was not a Jet 2 holiday. But when I travel, shit, I make it a damn holiday because I'm going to have a good time. Our good friend, a good friend of the show, Arthur Myron in Clifton, had a really great video that I do want to share, and it really makes up but it was a great video, and it brings up a good point. And it starts off again: the major concern is in the Middle East. It's black and brown communities being terrorized and targeted by Trump in this country. This is something that more black people and brown people need to see.
Donald Trump is unleashing the FBI, Homeland Security, ICE, sheriffs, whomever he can gather up to attack DC, where black people live. He's attacking black communities in blue states all over this country. And we know what ICE is doing to brown communities. But you got folk on the far left, many, but not all. Got to say that, or else the internet goes crazy. Most are white, but not all. Telling us we need to be more concerned about what's happening over in Israel, Palestine, and Gaza. Let me tell you something. You know what we're worried about? You know what black and brown people in this country are worried about? The vast majority? We're worried about our communities. Because your parents and your grandparents, your aunts and your uncles, and all the people in your circle, they voted for this guy who's attacking us. That's what we're worried about, our own.
I don't know if it's true though, Myron. That's my worry. I don't know. I do not think enough of our black and brown, the black community. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't think enough black people are as concerned as they should be in this time. I don't think they really realize the necessary state of emergency that we're in. But
I mean, a lot of people, like, it's not gonna affect them, or it's not gonna hit them until it hits close to home. Until they hear about, Debo and them getting arrested and taken and detained. It's not gonna hit nobody until all of a sudden it happens to somebody in their family or somebody close to them. Unfortunately, that's just how things work. Or unless it's televised, unless it's on TV or if it's on social media, they're not going to be outraged until they actually see it for themselves. Because a lot of people still don't believe that Project 2025 exists, because a lot of people still haven't felt the effects of it.
As soon as it happens, it's going to be completely glossed over. People, for the first time in my life, we had an assassin breaking the homes to murder Democratic lawmakers, and succeeded in doing so. And it made news for a couple of hours on a Saturday morning. And it was completely drowned out by a fucked up, nobody attended birthday party for shithead, Taco Tits. What else we calling that man? I said we're going to call him Timu Hitler Taco Tits. and has been rarely brought back up. We had on Friday a man who has been brainwashed and crazed because because to become anti-vaccine, believing the COVID vaccine made him depressed, shoot 150 rounds into the CDC, into the Center for Disease Control, killing a black police officer, a 33-year-old man, father of two with a child on the way, who had just joined the police force less than 8 months ago in an attempt to have stable income and health insurance for his family. And how much of that is being known? How much of that is being talked about? We have had more mass shootings in 2025 at this point in the year than we've had in any other year in American history. But rarely ever are any of these mass shootings being shared on social media, because all they want to fucking talk about is the bullshit distractions that Donald Trump throws at us day after day after day. Fucking MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, mainstream. It's just salivating over Trump's shit. 24 hours a fucking day, while real news is happening and it's completely getting drowned. So once they kill Debo and Tini and Tiny and Shay Shay them, no one's gonna still know about it.
I mean, that's the problem. They're hitting us with so much at a high velocity to where people are they're being numb to it or purposefully. And I can understand, even for people's own, personal sanity or mental health, that sometimes when it comes to a lot of trauma and traumatic things, a lot of people block it out. That's literally a trauma response, is what's going on. A lot of people right now are still traumatized by this election and the outcome of it, because a lot of people just cannot deal with it. Or also, here's the other thing. We also have to take in, and this is why we have to bring the news to the people wherever we can and however we can. Because being on the grind, especially people who are still struggling when it comes to affordability, they don't have the luxury to actually figure out what's going on in politics, because they're too busy trying to keep their lights on. They're too busy trying to pay their bills. They're too busy trying to make sure that they have, quality care for their children. They're too busy worrying about all these other things that's constantly bombarding them to where they can't pay attention to what's going on with the government. And we have to remember that. That's an unfortunate fact. When I was, when I was young and stuff like that and dealing with a lot of shit, it was hard for me to keep up. So y'all have to make sure that we keep that in mind. But we also have to make sure that we're bringing it anywhere that we possibly can, to any platform which we can, which is why you guys have to like this. You have to like this live, share this live, make sure that we're being viewed, make sure you're sharing this with your family, everyone, so that way they can get the information.
Yeah, no,
You can't do it alone.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think, when I think about the cities that Trump is targeting, right? So DC voted for Kamala Harris 92%, right? Baltimore City, 85%. Donald Trump gained some in New York, but he still lost by over 1 million votes. So while there was 417,000 people that sat their asses at home in 2024 in New York City, the majority of the people still showed up for that election. So these are the people that he is going to target are people that actually gave a fuck about democracy and showed up to vote. It's the people in the states that mattered that didn't show up, and that's why we lost. I mean, we got to be real about this. California, the same thing. They Kamala won by like over 1 million votes. I mean, we have to be real about this. So the people that are not caring are the people, like you said, that are not going to be impacted by this. They're the people in the middle of the country. They're the people that are in, some of these swing states, Pennsylvania. They better wake the fuck up. They have two judges on the ballot this year. They better wake their asses up and go vote. I mean, we need people to be engaged, and I don't know how we do that, but we got to find a way. And yes, when it's close to your house and when it's impacting your family, yeah, you're gonna wake the hell up, because some people walking down the streets in DC have a whole bunch of people like, oh shit. Oh shit. And now the people in Baltimore, they heard that they're getting targeted. They're pissed off now too. So it kind of does have a rippling effect, but it's the people that it doesn't impact, they still don't care. And that's the sad part. And the same thing with the Latino community. They thought Donald Trump was gonna be the greatest thing since sliced bread, and they're learning themselves that he ain't shit, right? So a lot of people were lied. A lot of people fell for the lies. They they started believing the bullshit, but a lot of this goes back to probably what we're going to talk about next, which is grievance politics
Mm.
And that old cranky ass man who has driven us to hate or not us, but people to hate the Democrats and talk shit about Kamala Harris. He ain't no better than fucking Trump, in my opinion.
He is no different from Trump, and I will tell you that in a minute. Maybe later in a
He
second.
is gonna
'Cause we
tell
got to
us
talk
that in a
about that.
minute. Kenny,
What's up?
this right here triggered Kenny so bad. You were mad as hell. I was
Absolutely.
stunned. I was shocked. I was shocked that Bernie Sanders would still be out here saying keep it with anything related to Kamala that was negative. I was shocked. Thank you so much, Poetic Justice. But I hope this is the right video, Kenny. Is this the right video?
It is, but it's very long, so I don't know if you want to play that whole entire, because I went in.
Black community and black community only, so white people exit left. I don't give a fuck about your opinion. This is the colored section, okay? I don't give a fuck. Exit stage left. Keep your opinions to yourself or swipe up. I don't give a fuck. And now that I've got that away,
When he wear that shirt, y'all, it's gonna be fire.
do not allow conservatives, progressives, moderates, liberals. I don't give a fuck what you identify. You can be blue, green, red. I don't give a fuck, bitch. Do not allow them to lie on Kamala Harris, and do not allow them to rewrite our history and what we were able to accomplish in 107 days. Okay? Do not allow them to rewrite our history, because this is some Christopher Columbus motherfucking revisionist ass bullshit, and I will not allow it to stand. Do not allow them to do it. Okay? What we were able to do was unprecedented. We ran a campaign, the shortest campaign than anybody, period. And in that time, when people sat here and said that there was no enthusiasm and no authenticity when it came to Kamala Harris's and also her support, Kamala Harris, in 107 days, was able to raise the most amount of money and small dollar donations, period, than any presidential candidate in U.S. history. She holds it. Okay, she raised more money and got more donations for more people than Bernie, than Biden, than Trump, than any of these mediocre white motherfucking men. A black woman did that. Okay, a black woman did that in less than 107 days. She was able to change public perception on all the lies and propaganda that people thought of this black woman, thought that she was illiterate, thought she couldn't speak, constantly questioned what she was able to do, questioned her ability, knowing the fact that she had broken history already, being the fact that she had broken more ties than any vice president, white, past president, it doesn't matter. She holds a motherfucking record. Kamala Harris is historic. Do not allow them to rewrite it. Don't allow this rhetoric to fucking stand, because it's a lie. It's a lie. Do not allow them to say that Kamala Harris didn't have anything from the working class, because even when people sat here and said that she ran a campaign based off identity politics, even when CNN, MSNBC, and every motherfucking interview wanted to ask Kamala Harris, well, Trump said something about your blackness. What do you think about that? She would always pivot back to the people and pivot back to her opportunity economy. When people question her blackness, she said, this is the same old tight-ass playbook. But since we're talking about black, let's talk about the racial wealth gap. Let's talk about how my policy and with my opportunity economy, I'm going to make it so black people have intergenerational wealth by helping them with down payment assistance to their first time home. I'm also opening up apprenticeship programs for people who don't necessarily want to go and get a goddamn degree or get in debt. That they will be able, if they have a trade or a particular skill, they will be able to have affordability and have the same opportunity as anybody else does with a degree. Kamala Harris ran on a campaign as that. Do not allow them to lie on us. Do not allow them to do it. And the sad thing about it is progressives and Republicans are one and the same. One and the same. But one thing I also know is they're also all white. Why are they using the same talking points? They sat here and lied and said that Kamala Harris was trying to pander to the black community by having Megan Thee Stallion twerk on stage. Well, if you actually watch the fucking rally, Megan Thee Stallion
was there.
talked about bodily autonomy,
And she did
then
not
in the midst
twerk.
talking about, well, if we want people to be able to, if we want to be able to have a say over our own bodies, women, then we need to make sure that we vote for Kamala Harris. And then she proceeded to talk about body or sing that song or perform that song, and so happened to twerk on stage. When you're talking about Megan Thee Stallion, because this is how we know that you don't give a fuck about our goddamn culture, Megan Thee Stallion has always been a proponent about bodily autonomy, especially when it comes to women. Because the sad thing about it is all of these progressives and Republicans are misogynistic. They have those same things in common because they see black women, or they see women in general, as objects. They objectify women. So what you sat there and thought Megan Thee Stallion twerking, what I saw was liberation of women being able to say, I can do whatever the fuck I want to with my own body because it's my motherfucking choice. That's not what progressives and that's not what Republicans saw. So why are they using the same motherfucking talking point if they're supposed to be progressive, meaning I want black women to have bodily autonomy, but I'm going to sit here and tell Megan Thee Stallion that she can't motherfucking twerk. And then I'm going to sit here and say that this person is only doing this out of theatrics rather than actually listen to what Megan Thee Stallion said about bodily autonomy. Again, y'all are one and the motherfucking same. You ever heard of that horseshoe theory where your ass swings so left that you swing right? That's where there are. Bernie Sanders, all these motherfuckers are misogynistic pieces of fucking shit. And they're going to rewrite our history over and over and over again. The problem is, for Bernie Sanders to sit here and say that Kamala Harris had no policies that would have helped anybody, it just shows that this motherfucker went on the DNC stage and lied when he said that she had the most progressive platform. Did he even read her policies? I know his ass couldn't read TurboTax because his ass never released that shit. But my question is, with Bernie, you want to talk about being so progressive and all of these other things, but when I look at your motherfucking record versus Kamala Harris's, yours is not as progressive as hers. And it never was. Even to this day, you and Trump share a lot in common that a lot of people don't know about, especially when it comes to immigration. You really want to talk about it, Bernie? Why is it in
And to 12-year-olds.
Indefinite detention?
But y'all don't want to talk about Bernie and them 12-year-olds.
What the progressives are going to say. Oh, well, they were only supposed to go after criminals. Well, isn't that what Trump said that he would do?
Child, a mess.
It was great work, Kenny. And again, the fact that he does this always on the fucking fly, it's baffling to me. But
I mean, but what is Kamala doing in this very moment as we're struggling with this treacherous dictator who's sending literally, he's trying to weaponize police officers and agencies to go after black and brown people. Like, we're literally seeing him take over black cities. We're seeing what's going on with this Epstein files. We see what's happening when it comes to people losing their health care, losing their SNAP benefits, people concerned. We see what's happening with him gerrymandering. We see him taking the votes and the rights away from American people and citizens. We see what's happening in Alligator Alcatraz. We see these internment camps. We see these horrible conditions where people are eating sandwiches with maggots in them and having to get their water, their drinking water from the same place they use the bathroom. Like, we see all of these things, but right now he wants to focus on, well, I don't think that she did enough for the white working class. I don't think she had a policy geared toward the white working man. So I'm going to, because I'm concerned, because I might either run or I already have somebody that I want to run in 2028. So what I want to do is, so that she doesn't run, I'm going to try to kneecap her and fuck up her perception. The same shit that they did when she was already a senator and then when she became our VP, is that they were trying to kneecap Kamala Harris. They didn't even want her on the ticket. AOC spilled the beans. She told us they did not want her. So they were trying to kneecap her early on. Before, they were trying to even remove her from the ticket in 2023.
So, and I look, I just be throwing stuff out there. Listen, but I always say what's back to, in fact, what I said. So somebody said, what 12-year-olds? This came from today, a series of tweets about this book about Bernie Sanders being asked to leave a hippie commune because he was lazy and because of some things and beliefs that he said. And he made some really inappropriate statements about bodily autonomy for girls and women. And so that I saw that on Twitter. And so I didn't save it. I thought I maybe saved it, but I didn't save it. I didn't give it much credibility. So I'm not saying you give it credibility, but it is.
Let me give you credibility.
That's out there.
Bernie Sanders wrote experts. Bernie Sanders wrote experts about women and saying that they had cervical cancer due to lack of orgasms.
Okay, so he actually did write that?
The rape thing. Don't forget the rape.
Yes, the rape essays. Women, when they're having sex with their husbands, this is what he said. When women are having sex with their husband, they fantasize being raped by multiple men. This is what Bernie Sanders says, and I have everything. I have everything. I have it all. I have it all. When I told you that I can bury this man tomorrow, I can do that.
And this is a motherfucker that everybody has put up on a goddamn pedestal.
This man has been misogynistic for years. If anybody remembers 2016, do you not remember what his supporters said about Hillary Clinton? And it's not even necessarily about liking Hillary Clinton. It's just about what he's saying about this woman who absolutely said nothing about him. Never even, and it never really even took a shot at this man. But the way that his supporters came to her talking about burn the witch, and I remember in California she was
Very
having a rally and they were
misogynistic.
spitting on children as they were trying to walk into the rally. Spitting
Yo,
on children.
shit, you don't even have to go to 2016. You can
Mm.
go right to 2020 when they was calling Elizabeth Warren a snake. They don't even, they still hate that woman to this day.
Mm.
They have a woman problem. They don't like women. Bernie Sanders was all gung ho for Joe Biden because he's a man.
There
Let's
you
be
go.
real about this.
White man. Okay,
White
let's
man,
make
yeah,
it
because
clear.
you know he didn't like Obama either. Remember, he won the primary Obama. Let's listen.
Come on, let's talk about it. And then on top
Mhm.
of that, even with all of the things that happened, I'll never forget that he had Rosario Dawson on stage calling Hillary Clinton a corporate whore. So it's just a lot of things. There was so many things. I have a lot of
Cory Booker's girlfriend, Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, that
yes,
one.
Rosario Dawson back in the day, you know, she called Hillary Clinton, unfortunately, a corporate whore. I'll never forget it. I had that. I have all of these things. I kept everything documented, you guys. So the only way
Kenny,
that you motherfuckers
come on,
can get
look, Kenny, sit that ass down and make us a good YouTube documentary. Come on. Like,
I have it all. I
together.
have to because they've even rewrote my history. Said that I'm just a monster and stuff like that. I remember when they were talking about Joe Biden is going to die before he becomes the president. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget. And I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Why are y'all wishing death on this man? I'll never forget how one of his comm directors, Breonna Joy Gray, who was on his payroll, accused Biden of sexually assaulting Tara Reid. These are people who are on his payroll. Tiff, you were there. You remember?
Oh yeah, no, these people. Listen, there was a lot that happened in 2020. There's a lot that happened in 2020. We could pull out all the receipts on all the things that these people were doing, but at some point, I feel like unlike Bernie, we are trying to move the entire fuck on. This man is still stuck in apparently still stuck in 2024, and this is why we can't progress. I'm tired of people saying that they are progressive, but they are still stuck in damn near 10 years ago in freaking the primary. Like, move the fuck on already. Like, we gotta move on. Like, he's just done so much damage, in my opinion, in terms of perception about the Democratic Party. Now, the Democrats, they have their issues, like as every party has their issue, but a lot of this goes back to Bernie and the perception and the grievances that he had against the Democratic Party, which turned people against the establishment. I fucking hate that word more than any other word that people say. And when I think about like where like the progressive movement and the leftist movement, I see somebody like a Zoran Mamdani who's trying to add people to his coalition. And then I see, and he's doing a good job of trying to do that. And then I think of where like the protege of fucking Bernie Sanders, who did the actual opposite. He caused division within the Democrats. Now, we always had issues, but after 2016, there was no going back from that. I mean, we were split. People were freaking booing John Lewis at the convention. I mean, these people are
Come
disgusting.
together against Trump, but these Bernie people, they never came back. But the thing is, they were never with us in the first place.
That's right. And that's my post today. That's my post today. Listen, I don't at this point I'm not gonna argue with you. If you are DSA and you are willing to work with the Democratic Party, fine, fuck it. I'll work with you. I mean, we may not even agree on half the shit, but
we
we are trying to get to a place where we can at least defeat this fascist fat fuck in the White House. So we have to work together, right? And so I don't care what you label yourself as at this point. If you are on the team of fuck fascism, then we can work together. But if you are going to continuously talk shit and be anti-democrat, then we cannot work together. And you can go over there in the corner and just shut the fuck up or just be mad, because I'm not in the mood to be dealing with these people. We have enough problems as it is with dealing with these people and the shit that they're trying to do. We are telling you that these people are trying to harm us, and you're sitting here telling us that we should not talk about identity politics. Kiss my fucking fat ass. I'm done with that. I don't want to hear it anymore.
It's my fat ass too. It's flat, but it's still fat.
Shit.
Hakeem. So Tiffany, what do we say? What it says Hakeem is, but that's
Does it
not how
matter?
it works. It doesn't work that way. He will. He's gonna support him. He's going to endorse him. The endorsements come at different times and for different reasons.
And even Obama called him. This was like secret thing that came out today that Obama called him and they had a conversation about, can he congratulate them? And they had a conversation because guess what? He's still a Democrat. No matter how you feel about it, he's still a Democrat. And
he won as a Democrat. He won
as a Democrat. And I watch stuff, like I watch his press conferences, and not one time have I heard this man say something negative about Democrats. He literally said in the press conference I watched the other day that he wants to work with the Democrats in the Democratic Party to defeat Donald Trump. And he is on a fuck Donald Trump tour in New York City. Like, I mean, this is where we are. And I'm just tired of people. And it's not just that side. There are people on our side who are doing the same thing. They are mad. And I get
our
it.
side, Tiffany, have been the most egregious to me in their attacks of Mamdani. Like
I agree.
In this case, right? They've been a little bit worse in this scenario. I want to give a little bit of perspective, though, Poetic Justice. A little bit of perspective. I want you to think about this. Think about this. We're mad at the leader of the highest ranking Democrat in America, Hakeem Jeffries. Leader Jeffries gets shit every fucking day. Every fucking day. And it doesn't matter what he does. It's going to be an organized campaign against him. And I want you to think about why. And I want you to think about where it's coming from. We, Black and brown people, are enraged about Leader Jeffries. But why? It is manufactured from the fucking bots. He is the leading Democrat in this country. So they target him unrelentlessly, and they know what to say to trigger you and put that out there into the culture, and we run with it. We run with it. Think about this. If the motherfucking MAGAs are able to support Donald Trump and the shit that he has done to children, and 48% of them said in a recent survey they don't give a fuck if what they see in the Epstein files. They're going to stand behind their man. Why in the fuck are we not standing behind the highest ranking Democrat in this country? Because that's all we've got. That's all we've got.
Right.
But yet we will be mad at him because he has not yet to publicly endorse Zohran Mamdani.
But everything is a timing thing when you're going with endorsements. It's all about timing. You already know people's attention span are a little short. So why not you wait and let that momentum continue to build and sizzle until it sizzles to a head? Why we were focused on the wrong thing? And even when it comes to Hakeem Jeffries, he's actually doing a better job than Nancy Pelosi was in this same situation in 2016. So I'm so be fucking for real. Why they hold this Black man to a more impossible standard than they did that white lady?
They are attacking him unrelentlessly, and we are letting them. We're not seeing through it. We're not filtering through the attacks to understand how we should be running offense because we're not even running defense. There should be a whole other strategy and how we approach Leader Jeffries. There were people that protected Nancy Pelosi. There are people that no matter what she did, they had her back. Hell, I was one of them until she said some bullshit about Kamala and Joe. But I don't see that same level of defense for Hakeem from anybody.
Here's my thing. I have my criticisms of Hakeem Jeffries, but when it comes to this specific thing about endorsements, who gives a fuck? I'm gonna just say this right now. Who gives a fuck about an endorsement? Them people in New York are gonna vote. They're not asking. Ask the people in New York, do you want an endorsement? They don't give a fuck. This is on. They really don't. I asked my mother. I was at dinner with her, and I said something about Mamdani, and she said, "Oh, people here don't give a damn about this election. They moved on. They don't care." My aunt is like, "I hope
he's gonna be mayor, and that's that."
They're like, you know what people in New York are hoping for? A lot of people, especially Black and brown people, they're like, "I hope Cuomo gets blown the fuck out." That's what they care about. They're not worrying about a damn endorsement. People in New York don't politic like that. This is an online discussion about endorsements.
And people who are outside of New York, by the way.
Yeah, by live by choice.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like none of this shit matters. They're treating Mom Donnie's race like he's running for fucking president. Like this
No,
is not
it's
matter.
ridiculous. Like no one gives a fuck anymore. Like I watch it and Cuomo needs to go sit his fucking ass down somewhere. His social media is trash as can be, and that shit is funny to me because I'm like, what are you even doing? It's like I don't know. The whole thing just annoys the shit out of me as a New Yorker, as somebody who has lived in New York and understands the politics of New York. The fuck are y'all even talking about on freaking social media? It makes no sense. It really doesn't because it's not reflective of what people in New York are talking about, conversing about. They're sick of Eric Adams. They know Cuomo lost, and they're like, we're gonna vote for Mamdani, and it don't even matter. He won the primary. Let's move on. Life goes on. Period.
Right. So I want to. So listen, this people said, how can we subscribe? And I want to thank. Let me go to my subscriber. I had one person, CJ Cornelia Nielsen. CJ Corneliuson, thank you for subscribing to my Substack. It means a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm gonna refresh. Did I have anybody else? Hell no, just one. But I'll take it. I'll take it. And so you can subscribe to Tiffany's Substack. Candidly Tiff. This is how you do it. You can just type in Candidly Tiff Substack and it comes right up. It comes right up. You can also subscribe to my Substack. Oh, wait, go back to Tiffany. So Tiffany is doing Fired Up Fridays. The first one dropped this Friday, and it was excellent. It was a good job. Good job. She even has it up there in the banner. You can watch the full clips of Fired Up Friday on her Substack. It is good. You can get it on the app, or you can watch it on your desktop. TPN. You can do it either way. You can do it, on. I use the app sometimes, but mainly I'm using Substack like a website, like a
I do
blog.
too.
I look
I
at it
do
on
too.
my laptop. That's how I read and enjoy it the most. And you can subscribe to my Substack by typing in the colored section Substack Tiffany, because I figured out how to change the name. So
Yeah,
now it's
I see.
the colored section Substack, and I try to post 3 times per week. And so would love if you guys support it. That is the way that we are able to get the most direct funds. Because again, with YouTube, they take some of the money, but on Substack, we get, if you $8 a month, we get the $8 a month, or $80 a year. That's all it takes. All my Substack money, I'm letting it accrue. I'm just going to draw it out at the end of the year, and I'll use that money for something great. So I'll use it for something great. Somebody asked earlier about Jeff Duncan. We'll be talking more about Jeff Duncan, maybe if he runs for governor of Georgia. I have a lot of thoughts on Jeff Duncan. I will say this. As someone very actively involved in Georgia politics, Zachary Kirk, made the decision when I saw that he entered the race that I'm not going to endorse any Democrat or promote any Democrat running for governor of Georgia until they win the primary, because I know each of these candidates personally. Of course, I love Keisha Lance Bottoms, but I don't know how much of a chance she has to win. Jason Estevez was in some ways my boss when I served as an educator in the Atlanta public school system. He's a state senator who was on the Atlanta Board of Education. He was also board chair. He was a great board member. He is Afro-Latino, and he is a big organizer for the Latino community in Atlanta. Again, a very big fan of Jason. And Pastor Olu Brown was my pastor. He was instrumental in me making the decision to leave public education and go into corporate America. He gave me we prayed, and he gave me a revelation on Good Friday, during a Good Friday, very intimate Good Friday service. You know what? It may have been Ash Wednesday. I'm not. It was one of them that he had at the church, and it was very few people there. And he prayed. He said he felt that what my future held, and I went and that was it. I was like, well, I guess it's time to end this chapter and move to another. So I revere Pastor Olu Brown, the former pastor of my church, Impact United Methodist Church in Atlanta. So those are the 3 people that are running now, and then Jeff Duncan may also enter the race. I will admit that I donated money to Jeff Duncan when he created his PAC that was supposed to be bridging together Democrats and Republicans. I do feel as though Jeff Duncan has the best chance of all the candidates of winning the governorship if he goes against the 3 horrible people that are running. And all 3 of them are MAGA Republicans. All 3 of them have been exceptionally racist in their rhetoric. So I am more than willing to support Jeff Duncan if he wins the Democratic nomination with all I have to ensure that those 3 people, that neither of those 3 will become governor of Georgia. But I'll do that for any of the candidates who make it. But we'll talk more about it as time goes on. Do we have anything fun to end with, people? Are y'all, anybody watching Big Brother besides me? Nobody's
I
watching
watch
Big
that
Brother.
show. It's like a marathon. I can't do that.
Y'all, do y'all watch? Do
Never
y'all watch?
stop recording. I cannot
Do you
deal
watch
with.
Gilded Age?
No,
No,
I'm gonna start. I'm too far behind, Tiffany. I'm gonna watch it. Okay, I do
Come
love. For
on.
if there's anybody who watches Big Brother, I love Big Brother. So you can always talk to me about Big Brother. Tiffany, I want to watch it Get the Age, but it's 3 seasons in, right? So I have to go back to season 1. Is it good from the beginning?
You have to watch it from the beginning, or you will
I'm
never be
going
able to
or
catch.
is it
Yeah,
like
you.
something you
Yeah,
have to force yourself to watch? Come on, tell the truth.
it's not something you have to afford. It's a time period show. So you're talking about late 1800s. So you kind of have to understand the
I know
time
the history.
period.
I love it. I got that. I
And
know the history.
yeah, and so it's slow. It starts off kind of
It's
slow,
the
but
Gilded
but
Age, girl. I know the Gilded Age, but I know
yeah,
people.
so but the characters, except for Cynthia Nixon, who is actually does have a really good character in the show. I don't like her, but the show itself, the characters are really good, and you kind of get to know the characters. But I love the dynamic of like kind of like the black elite that are living in New York City at that time
Were they in
period.
season 1 or they didn't come into season
Yeah,
2?
no, they start in season one. The main character is there's two main characters, which is a white girl and a young white girl and a black young white girl. You kind of go through the journey of both of they become best friends, and you kind of watch them. But there's so many characters and so much stuff in it that it really is good. I mean, it may not be a show for everybody, but I love it.
I'm gonna
I'll
start
take a
watching
look
it
at
this
it.
weekend. I'm
Once
going
once
to.
I'm finished with Gotham, I'll take a look.
Yeah, and I'm not.
Yeah, it's not a fast show, so don't think you're gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be action packed. It ain't that kind of show.
No, I
I know
am
you know that. You talking
drama
about Kenny.
methodical. Listen. I as an English major, I don't like shows. That's why a lot of shows I do not watch, and why a lot of shit, like again, unfortunately, Kenny and the crew when we were in New York, they there's a lot of things I've never seen, a lot of programs I've never watched, and people are always like shocked that you never saw that or you never watched that. When I was in like high school and college, there was no TV. I was all about the books. After that, I was all about teaching and education, and I was all about the work because I mean I worked. I had multiple jobs as a teacher. I was always in school, so I didn't watch TV. So a lot of great shows I didn't watch, but at the same time, I probably wouldn't have watched them because they're like cheap thrills. They're not developing well. I love a long, slow burn where it pays
Oh,
off.
then
And
you would love the Gilded Age.
Oh
But
I'm
God.
gonna watch it. And
but
so yeah, I'm
so
gonna watch
hold on. But what we have this week, love is the what is it? The Love Island. The reunion is this
it.
week.
Yeah, I never watched Love Island.
Me
What?
neither. I
Never
can't
Y'all
get
watched.
it.
come on, y'all gotta get together.
Oh, come on
But I
now.
got I
Big
do have
Brother is better than Love
All this
Island.
fake
no, it's
relationship.
not.
I ain't got
Does
time for that.
does Love Island have any strategy?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, there's strategy. You
I've
gotta you
seen
gotta
like
get to the
clips.
end
I
and you
tried
gotta
to
win
watch
to win
one
the hundred
season.
thousand.
I
Okay,
couldn't
I
do
okay.
it.
like it. I like reality. Okay, so how about this? So I got one to end. All right. So yeah,
Okay,
since
here's
we've been
good. Okay.
we've been talking mad shit about Sydney Sweeney and American Eagle. So today we got a report that while American Eagle stock is up 16%,
And it's
their foot
inflated unfairly because of it's a meme stock.
yes, but their foot traffic actually is down 6%. So all this MAGA foolishness that they've been talking about on the app is bullshit.
It's
Okay,
They
all these,
doing it in
all
real shit.
all of it. That's why we say Twitter is not real life. Okay.
baby,
Look,
a few white people in one store does not mean the motherfucking jeans are flying out the shelves.
I
That's
mean,
not
most of the people that I seen go in there, I mean, I don't think they can fit anything that's from there, anything that fits their body. And on top of that, how the hell can you buy jeans or a pair of jeans when you still counting cheese slices?
Kenny. They ain't counting them cheese slices. They never were.
I'm just saying.
Ooh.
Hmm.
So
I want to watch that too.
have you watched it?
No, I want to watch it though. The Chief of War. I want to see that. I
Is it
gotta finish
like is it
finish some
is
shows.
it like Gladiator, historical, Mars type?
I don't know, but I saw the like a preview for it, and I was like, "Ooh, that actually looks kind of good." So yeah, there's a lot of shows. A lot of shows are coming back too. So I'm excited
I
about
need a good
seeing.
distraction, something to wind down.
So
But
sales are flat. Sales are down. So I actually did some research in this for a video that I never made the video, but I'm going to, and I'm going to also put it on my. You know what? I have already written the Substack. People, I'm going to post this on my Substack tonight. It'll go live in the morning. So when I go upstairs, I'm going to put this shit into the subs. It's written. I just haven't posted. So I'm going to post it, and then I'll make a video tonight as well. I have a couple of videos that I want to make tonight. So y'all throwing good show. I ain't watching none of these shows, y'all. I'm not watching Godfather Harlem. That's too much. I can't watch no God of War. That's going to be too much. I'm watching The Gilded Age. My one commitment is to watch The Gilded Age. As I
Okay.
continue to watch, I'm watching Big Brother and Project Runway, and that's it. And I'm watching Project Runway because I hate Law Roach, but I hate Law Roach, but I am liking his commentary on this show, but I hate him as a person. And I hate his
I heard
commentary.
he's mean.
I don't like, I think La Roach is extremely destructive to people. I don't like that. But on the other end of it, I think he's doing a better job on this show than he did on the HBO Max show that he had. So I'm kind of liking him a little bit better. But I also want, and this is, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to say it. It's fucked up what I'm going to say, and I apologize to everybody I offend. But some of those designers have way more technical knowledge and training than La Roche will ever have. And I just don't feel as though he has the right to be so critical of them when they have poured their life into this art form. And he just was born with a very special talent, a very special gift of putting clothes together. He doesn't have the talent of doing what these people fucking do. So for him to critique them so harshly, I think is fucked up. I know that's a controversial take, but I said it. I'm glad I got it out, because when I don't get out what I feel in my heart, I blow up.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Bye. And Poetic Justice says, I love La Roach. He has a lot of fans, and I definitely I'm trying my best to give him a fair shot. Right. And I know he works well with Zendaya. Okay. Bye.
Bye.